So here's the scene I'm going to paint. This is in Porto in Portugal. It's a lot to do. It's pretty complicated, but I'm going to try to get it done in under 30 minutes. Obviously, this is the really sped up version, but it'll give you a sense of kind of what my approach is when I'm actually out traveling and I have a scene in front of me like this that I want to draw. I don't put a lot of effort into a pencil sketch, just very light, show me where the major shapes are. And then I'm putting down the sky and the water, and then just a blend of colors for all those houses on the hill. I let that dry, and I'm going to mix up a gray just for some of the darker areas near the water line and the reflections in the water. This is really about all I'm going to do in terms of watercolor. Now there are some trees on the hillside, and so I thought it would be fun to paint those in before I've ever drawn a building. So I don't know exactly where they go relative to the building, but I think that's what makes this kind of fun. And now I'm going to actually draw it. I'm using a Tombow Fudenosuke pen here. I love these. They're waterproof. They're easy to find, very portable. Really like to use them. So this is the kind of lesson that I send out to my subscribers. You get it in your inbox every Friday. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link below, and you can get these sent right to you, and it'll be the full-length version where I get into a lot more detail about how I do this, how it all works. We look at supplies, and we look at a lot of different techniques. This is just one example. But anyway, once I get all the buildings in, I don't want to draw every single window. That way lies madness. And when you're counting windows, you're losing. So rather than get into every single little window and every single little detail, I'm just using a gray marker to indicate generally that there are windows in these buildings. I just want to drop in little bits of detail and little bits of darker areas or shadows, maybe with a different kind of gray. So I usually travel with a few markers that I think are good standard colors for urban sketching. Like sort of a dark orange terracotta type color is great for rooftops, for example, or brick buildings. And then I can always come in and add a few more details here and there. Usually as I get towards the end of a sketch, I'm just looking at well, how much time do I have? And what else can I really do here? So I'm really just sort of playing around with the amount of time I have left and trying to get in some shadows for a sense of depth, touching up the roof lines a bit. I'm going to come in and kind of emphasize some of the windows, but not all of them. I just don't want to overdo it there. And then I'll also just come in with some dark green markers just to give a little bit of sense of depth to those trees, but it doesn't need a ton. Okay, if you enjoyed this, check out the rest of my channel and also feel free to subscribe.